Okay, so this is our new coach call for coaches who joined in February. Most of you guys on here all joined within like days of each other. So because of that, it makes it really nice. I'm excited to kind of, my goal is to kind of keep you like a little pod almost and help you. It really helps to have other people that are at the same place as you. And that way you can kind of relate. You kind of are going through the same things in your trainings. And it just helps to have people to do it with. You know, when I started, I didn't have a bunch of people kind of at the same place as me. And so I really missed out on that like camaraderie and that like group feel. So that's something that I really, really, want for you guys. And it helps so much. So that's my goal in having our little thread between the 10 or 11 or however many there are of you guys and a couple other ones who are signing up in the next couple days, and then we'll close it off so you guys will kind of be all at the same place. But so today I thought I would get you guys kind of started. This is kind of like our getting started right call, if you will, just so that you know kind of what you should be doing as a new coach. You know, obviously you guys got your new coach packet, you signed up, and I'm sure you're like, oh my gosh, okay, now I'm overwhelmed. Like, what do I do now? And so, and it's hard not to get like really excited and want to just start posting about everything and get into everything, but it also can really quickly get overwhelming. And so my goal is to help that not happen and for you to keep that momentum and keep that excitedness that you feel without getting really overwhelmed. So what I want to do first, and I wrote this in that little graphic that I had for you, but I want for you guys to, in the next couple days, I want for you to get through, because we have so many on here, I'm not going to make you share your why and share all that kind of stuff, but I did think that it would be kind of fun really quickly if you guys would just go around and just say your name and say where you're from, like where you live, and also just like one really quick reason why you signed up as a coach. You don't have to go deep into, what you're going to learn in your training about your why, like that one thing that deep down is like, just the reason that you really, really, really want to do this business, the reason that you really want to be successful. So for example, like for me, I live in Georgia. I'm Ashley. And my why, my big like thing that makes me almost like emotional is that I desperately wanted to be home with my baby. And so when I started coaching, I was teaching full time and I was commuting an hour both ways. So it was like I was in the car for so long. It ended up being like 13-hour days. And I just desperately did not want to do that when we had kids. And we really wanted to start a family. And I just knew that I did not want to do that when I started to start my family. And so about 8 months of teaching and coaching at the same time, I was able to leave my full-time job after that and stay home with Hudson. But the driving force behind why I would stay up a little bit late and wake up a little bit early and push myself a little bit harder was because I knew that if I did, then I would be able to have a little bit of freedom to stay home and to be able to help provide for my family, but ultimately be able to be a mom, which is what I always wanted. And I wanted to be able to bring something to my family too. And so that this has provided that avenue. And so I desperately, that was my why, my family, my son that was going to be born. And it still is my why. That's why I push so hard every day so that I can provide a life that he's worthy of, and that, where we can have adventures and have memories and make memories and not have to worry about money or schedules for work and things like that. So that's why I am doing this. That's why I love it. I love helping people, and I love that that's the end result. But does anyone else want to kind of share? You can unmute yourself. Does anyone else want to share your name and where you're from and maybe like a quick little blurb about why you're coaching, why you wanted to do this?
I'm Stacy. I'm in Minnesota. So
that's awesome.
I'm in the Midwest.
That is really cold.
Weather. So while you all are leaves and like getting ready for spring, I'm still freezing. So I'm a little jealous.
Aww.
I wanted to stay home with my daughter. I wanted to be able to make some income I knew I needed something more for myself. I felt like something was missing, and I wanted to grow so that I could be a better mom and a wife, and I wanted to be able to help other women who feel kind of in the place that I do. So that's kind of my why.
That is awesome. That's so great. I'm excited for you because the one thing that has changed so tremendously for me is myself. I'm way different than I was 14 months ago when I started coaching. And I'm sure that you guys will all feel, if you don't even already feel just after being a coach for like a week or so, some of you, the transformation that you feel inside is beyond any type of money or status or anything that you could possibly ever imagine. So I'm so excited for y'all. Okay, anyone else want to share before we move on?
I'll share.
Okay.
My name is Jessica. I'm from Gunnison, Colorado. I think it's like 5 degrees out here today, so I'm jealous too of all the warm weather and the palm trees.
I know.
I feel like I'm almost there.
It's like all the palm trees in the background. Like that's
It's like snowing. How nice. I joined for me ultimately because I felt like this would be something good for myself and to stay home with my little guy that I had. He's only 7 weeks old, and I just can't even imagine putting him in daycare. It makes me want to cry. So I hope it all can work out and I can inspire some people and just do some good for myself.
That is amazing. I love it. Anybody else?
Hello.
Okay.
I'm Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
I live in hi. I live in South Dakota, or I guess right on the border of South Dakota and Nebraska. I guess I wanted to become a Beachbody coach just because I've been really into health and fitness, or wanting to get into it more, and it just seems like a good opportunity. And I have a lot of student loan debt that I'm working really hard to pay off now, and so it'd be nice, to maybe eventually have a little bit of extra income sometime down the road, I guess.
That's awesome.
So to better myself and maybe eventually help pay off my student loans. So
That's great. That's a really great goal. That's awesome.
thanks.
I'll go.
All right. Let's hear
Hey,
it from
y'all.
Beach Mama over there.
I'm Sierra. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We clearly got some 80-degree weather going on here. I joined because we have 2 small children, 2 under 2. I stay at home with them, but you really do feel like something's missing, as the other girl said. So I wanted to, make more money for our family and just inspire other people like Ashley did me. She brought something out in me that I haven't felt in a long time, and I want to give that to other people.
That is so awesome. Thanks. That's amazing. I love that. Anyone else?
I'll go.
Okay.
So I'm Jen, and I am from Chicago. So we're in the middle of a blizzard right now.
Oh, you guys in the cold weather. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I joined Beachbody because I have 4 kids, and before I had my kids, I worked in the fitness industry. I have a bachelor's in kinesiology. So fitness has always been my thing, but I wanted to stay home with my kids, and ever since my last one is 1.5 now. So I feel like I need to do something. I need to get back into work. It's better for me, but I can't imagine leaving the house. So I felt like this is a good fit for me to put my knowledge and inspire other people and still be able to be home with the kids. So
that is awesome. I love when fitness professionals and people who have a background in nutrition or in the fitness industry, that is so helpful for you, because you guys have not a step ahead, but it's just you have so much more knowledge, and it brings so much to the team too. Because someone like me, I left teaching Spanish, so I only know what I know and what I've researched on my own and learned on my own, and so that just brings a whole nother level to this, which is really awesome. That's great. Anyone else?
I'll go.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Brooke, and I am from Boston.
Another cold one.
Boston, Mass. And I'm with pretty much everybody else. I just had my second daughter 5 weeks ago, and I've always wanted to stay home. I went from a full-time position to a part-time position after I had my first, and after I had my second, I really don't want to go back. And I've always been into health and fitness. I first did Beachbody right after I had my first, and I saw tremendous results. And I've learned that, it definitely works through all the different programs that I've tried. And so, I would love to help inspire and motivate other moms, really that are in our situation. So, and to stay home and make some money would be great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. That's so great. All right, anyone else?
Yeah, I'll go next.
I came in kind of late.
Who is this? Because I can't see your name. It's just a number.
Angela Sean was here.
Oh, I see Angela. Who are both of y'all on the phone?
And then there's Brandy Eckler. I just came in.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's let Angela go since I saw you talking first. Angie, go ahead.
Okay. I came in a little late too, but I kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah.
I joined Beachbody because I'm 37. Don't know how that happened. I feel like I'm 17 still, but tried everything, working out, trying to eat better. So my coach had hit me up and I tried it, and I'm super skeptical of everything. I research it before I buy anything. So there are really good reviews about Shakeology and everything. So I'm like, what do I have to lose besides, some chub? So I tried it and I loved it. And I started back in September and lost weight and then kind of fell off the wagon. And now I'm back on and so passionate and want to kick butt. I love this.
That is so awesome. I love that. It's helpful too when especially some of you guys who haven't tried the products, haven't started your journey with your workouts and stuff, you're going to feel like 10 times even more pumped up once you start feeling your own results and seeing how amazing these programs are. Like some of these other women have said that they've personally done them. It just gives you a whole new mindset on everything. So, okay. Anybody else? And then we'll move on.
And then me, Brandy.
Okay, Brandy, go ahead.
All right. I started because I worked with somebody and she was really into Beachbody and she had, really good results with it. And so she had me try Shakeology and I really liked it. So the more I thought about it, I ended up doing some research and looking into it, and I just really liked what I saw. And I think I'm in like day 4 or 5 of the program, and I get more and more inspired by everybody every day, and I just love it.
That is amazing. That's great. So again, another speaker to to trying your program out and getting into that. It's exciting. So I'm excited for all of you guys. So what I really want for you guys to do is do some thinking. It sounds like a lot of y'all are, and I know because I've talked to each of you, but your why is so big. That's the thing that on days where you're like, I don't think I'm good at this, or I'm not seeing anyone coming back to me or following up, or I'm getting a lot of no's. I'm getting a lot of people saying, no, I'm not really interested right now. That is all just part of what happens as a coach. But what I want for you to always come back to is your reason why you're doing this. All of you have such meaningful things to your life about why you want to be a coach. And so that's so important and so powerful for you to remember. So I want for you to write that down somewhere or put it on your phone, or post a picture, something that reminds you of why you're doing this as a side job, as a full-time job, as something to bring in money for your family. There's a reason why you signed up and a reason why you want to make this work. And so don't forget about that. Okay, so we're going to get into some of the meat of what you should be doing as a new coach. There's so many things to focus on, but if you start with your 3 vital behaviors, that is something that is going to drive your business forward no matter what. So as a coach, if you haven't gotten into your training yet, I do suggest that because it's going to tell you all this. But the 3 vital behaviors for Beachbody, for being a coach, is number 1 is being a product of the product. So that means that you are drinking your Shakeology every day and you are working out every day. Obviously, you're going to have days where you're off and that kind of thing, and that's okay. Share about it. You see me all the time, like, dang it, my son is crying, I can't work out right now. It's just real life stuff. Your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is not to put on this perfect world for everyone else to see and then, get frustrated behind the scenes because you can't be yourself. You want to be yourself. You want to be relatable to people who are following you. So being a product of the product is huge. Just sharing your journey. Sharing is the biggest part of this business. I am not a saleswoman at all. I taught middle school Spanish for years. Come on now. So, if you focus on the only thing that I focused on since the beginning of being a coach is sharing what I'm doing. Sharing my life, sharing my Shakeology, sharing recipes, sharing workouts that I do, and just talking about why I love them. That is my main goal as a coach, to share about things that I love and that I'm seeing results from. And in turn, you're going to inspire people by that. You're going to inspire them to want to also try that, or to want to also have this type of lifestyle that you are able to have, or the community that you're able to have with the coaches, that kind of thing. So vital behavior number 1, being a product of the product. Number 2 is personal development. I cannot stress this enough. As a new coach, I will be honest. When I was a new coach, I did not do personal development. And it is something that I still kick myself for, because when you start being vulnerable and sharing things with people and putting yourself out there, and then you start maybe getting some no's from people that don't want to join you, or maybe you have a family member that doesn't agree with you being a coach, or whatever it may be. We're human, and we're also women, and it's hard not to get emotional about things like that sometimes. And so that's where personal development comes in hugely. There are some great books, and there's a whole list actually in the Google Drive, and we'll talk about that in a second. But one of the main books that I really suggest you read or listen to, you can go to like audible.com or go to podcasts and listen to different things. But the very first book that I always suggest is called The Slight Edge. And that is the best book that you could possibly start with. It's easy read, and it really talks about how to kind of like have that edge and have what it takes to be a successful person that can help other people. So I think you'll really enjoy that. And you can get it on Amazon Prime for real cheap. And that's just my suggestion as the first one. A couple other ones, Go for No is another great one that you can start with after that. It's like a really tiny read, and it's so quick. I mean, I think I read it on the elliptical one night in one sitting. And that's really good. That's all about like pushing through and like trying to just reach out to more people and talk to more people and get more no's, get more people saying, no, not right now, or not yet, because all those no's will eventually turn into somebody being like, oh man, okay, never mind, I want to try it. Or never mind, think about, I don't know how long you've been following my journey and stuff, but I know when I was following other coaches, I was following for a long time before I finally said yes. And before I finally was like, all right, fine, tell me about this coaching thing. Then I said no multiple times to multiple different people. And then for some reason, there was just the right time. So personal development is so huge, just to kind of clear your mindset and focus on what you're doing and how to help you be a more successful person. And there's all kinds of books you can read on leadership, on, how to have self-confidence, all kinds of stuff. But those are the first 2 that I always suggest. They're really, really good. So The Slight Edge, Go for No, and there's a whole long list of other ones, but I'm not going to make you write those all down right now. And then the third vital behavior is inviting. And inviting is so important because that's how you get people interested. So you have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and talk to other people. And we're going to talk about how to invite people in just a minute, how to share with people. And I will say that there are some coaches who focus a lot more on sending invites. And I mean something like sending just a message to an old friend, or a message to somebody who maybe you don't really know very well, but they might be in your church small group, or they might be a parent to one of your kids' friends in the nursery or in the preschool or whatever. Ooh, that was loud. I'm going to mute a couple of y'all. Okay. But it could be a message like saying, hey girl, I don't know if you'd be interested, but I'm starting this challenge group right now, and it's going to be so fun. We're going to be working out and eating right, and you're going to have accountability. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing, but would you be interested in finding out more information? Something like that, a really quick invite. Now, there are some coaches that focus a lot more on sending just a bunch of cold invites like that, and then others, like myself, who focus on really just sharing their journey. Well, I share about coaching and share about what this community does in my life, and I share about my workouts that I love, and I share about that so much so that I don't have to do so many uncomfortable cold invites, because I want people to just know that I love it. I want them to see that passion. So that's something to be thinking about as you're going. So your 3 things, if you are working full-time or part-time and you just have a lot of stuff going on and you can only do a little bit of work for Beachbody a day, focusing on those 3 vital behaviors is huge. Doing your own journey, being a product of the product, reading personal development, and it could be for only 10 minutes a day. And then also inviting people. Invite 2 to 3 people a day. Just sending a little message and saying, hey, would you guys want to get in on this with me? I love it. And I know that you'd love it too. Like, just try it. Okay, now, next thing. moving into your new coach training. Does anybody not know how to find their new coach training? It's okay if you don't. Okay, great. So in your new coach packet, and I'm gonna screen share now so that you can kind of see some of this. Let me pull my screen up real quick. Your new coach packet is like gold. That is what is gonna help you kind of know what you should be doing, where everything is at, and even down to like my own contact information. Can you guys see that? Can everyone see that? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so this is like your cover page if you're my coach. If you're a coach from one of my other coaches, then yours might look a little bit different. They might have tweaked the information. But this is kind of your cover page. And in your new coach packet, I talk about all of this stuff, okay? Just like ideas of when to post. Obviously, nobody's gonna know what you're doing unless you're sharing every single day. So as a coach, the goal is to post 3 to 5 times a day. Now, let me say something. I was not into social media when I started as a coach. You may be thinking, what? Because I was very private on my social media accounts. I had only pictures of family, maybe some things of my husband and I, and that was it. And so for me, posting vulnerably about my life and about workouts and things like that was not something I was accustomed to. But you will get more used to it as you go, and you will start to see that the more vulnerable and the more just real life you are, the more people are going to relate to you, and that's all for the better. So as a goal for my new coaches, I always tell them to try to post at least 3 times a day. Sometime in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, and sometime at night when people are getting back from work. Maybe they're scrolling after dinner, when they're just kind of hanging out with their families, you know, whatever it is. And you'll start to kind of see a trend in your network and who follows you. The times that are good for me to post might not be the best times for you to post. And it's just going to depend on who your friends are and who your network is. And you'll start to see that as you post. But for me, my goal is always to post once a day about something fitness related, whether it's a workout or a sweaty selfie or giving them a move of a day or talking about a program that I really love, something that has to do with fitness. Then the second post, or one of the 3 posts a day, is something about nutrition, whether it's a recipe or it's a something, you know, that talks about, okay, blueberries, why they're good for you. Or maybe it's my Shakeology and I give them a recipe, or I talk about what Shakeology is doing for me, why I love the ingredients, or my hair is better, my skin is better, you know, things that I like about it. And then the third thing is something motivational or just related to my life. So a lot of times I'll take a picture and I'll put a quote over it, or I'll put a quote with it, and I'll just share something about my life, because I know that my situation can reach somebody else out there and it can motivate and inspire somebody else. So I always try to do 1 post a day like that. So kind of get into a groove like that. Focus on 3 different types of posts, and then everything else in between can just be extra fluff, extra things, extra tips, extra things that you're doing with your kids or with your family, you know, taking trips or going to the grocery stores, talking about meal prep, you know, all those different kinds of things can all kind of bulk into that one thing. And I will say, try to get your face in pictures the most. Don't do any stock photos. Don't go to Google and type in 21 Day Fix and then post a picture of Autumn Calabrese on there to try to get people to like what you're doing. That will not work. The more that they see you, the more they're going to relate to you. So pictures of you, or just real life pictures of your scenario and whatever you're trying to convey to people, is way more useful and way more successful than posting some kind of stock photo or even a stock quote. Very rarely will I post a quote that I just get off of like Etsy or a cute picture from Pinterest. You know, I always try to take that cute quote that I like and either pair it with a picture or remake that quote totally and put it on my own picture. Okay, a couple more things about this. So again, I give you just kind of tips and things to do, and we're going to talk about how you track all these different things, how you track looking for new Facebook friends, how you track commenting on different things and staying engaged, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. This is your 21-day new coach training. So you should have this link, and this is where you go to get your training site. When you get in there, everything, I listed out the days for you, because when I was a coach, I was always like, okay, when do I learn about that? When do I learn about the 3 vital behaviors? When do I learn about Success Club? And it helps for you to kind of see, okay, this is the layout. This is the day that I'm going to find that. And maybe you really want to learn about that day. So you can go ahead and skip ahead and go to day 6 on your training. So everything, when you get into your site, you're going to make a username and a password, and you'll be able to sign in whenever you have time. And I would make it your goal to at least go through one day at a time. If you can do more, then that's awesome. When I was a new coach, they didn't even have this. It was totally different. It was just on a Facebook group, and it was a lot. It was just not as, I like it this way because it can be on your own time. It wasn't structured as that when I signed up as a coach over a year ago. So this is nice for you to be able to do it on your own time. And if you're working as well, like part-time or full-time, or you have busy kids, I get it. So for me, what I did as a new coach is either I would, I'd figure out when I could find that time. And for me, I was working full-time, so it was early in the morning, or it was staying up a little bit later at night. Or, while my husband was watching TV or whatever, funny show he wanted to watch, I would put one headphone in and I would be listening to one of my trainings and kind of going through some of the homework and stuff. So you'll kind of figure out what you can do and how you can do it, and just try to fit it in as best you can. And obviously it's all on your own time. So the sooner you get through it, the more information you're going to know. And then the longer it takes you, just the longer it's going to take you to get to know that. And I will say too, it's a lot of information all together, but it's just for you to know, just for you to take it in. And then if a lot of it goes back out, that's okay, because eventually it'll come back around. And the more that you start working with the information and working as a coach, it's going to all just start clicking, and it's going to make a whole lot more sense. So don't worry about not getting it all totally down pat right away. That's okay. Okay, moving into, this is our other additional resource that I wanted to share with you. Okay, y'all, so when I started as a coach as well, I did not have all these resources. I started from the very beginning sharing everything for you. And so I'm going to show you the Google Drive in just a second. But this is your link. So you should save this link somewhere. And if it's not working for you, let me know, because I can try to add you a separate way. But this is your link to the Google Drive, your link to every resource that I have ever used as a coach. Different free groups, different paid groups, graphics, scripts about how to talk to people about certain things. I mean, everything that you could want to have questions about, it is all there for you. So I suggest saving that or bookmarking that somewhere on your computer screen, because that will help you so much. Then in your new coach packet, I also just touch on, some people want to know more about the compensation stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then also about your first rank as a coach. So right now you guys are something we call an active coach. You're a brand new coach and you don't have anyone underneath you. You might start seeing people pop up underneath you, and that's just because that's the next coach being added into our team. But they are not your personally sponsored coach. You do not sign them up. When you start to sign up coaches, your first goal is to get to be an Emerald coach. That is the next rank of coach that you can be. And so that means that you have 2 other people that you inspire to get into the job as well with you. So that means you have 2 other coaches underneath you. And again, we're not going to touch fully on this today, because this is something that you're going to learn in depth in your new coach training. And that does a way better job of explaining it, because it really breaks it down step by step for you, because it's something we could talk about for an hour probably, and we just don't have the time for that today. And then I go into, again, some social media do's and don'ts. And honestly, the main thing is, when you're posting, you want to post quality things. I always put my stuff through the so what test. And it's kind of like, if I post something and I say, okay, so what? Who would relate to that? If it's something like really silly, like nobody, like it would be like, okay, why in the world did you just post that? It's probably better that I don't post that rather than post it just to have a post out there. So I would rather you post less a day if you don't have anything meaningful to say or to share, than to just post a bunch of stock photos or just, crappy things that aren't helping anybody. You want to have quality posts so that people continue to follow you and continue to be engaged with your journey and your story and what you're offering to people. Another thing, again, is inviting people, but not being a spam artist. All over your Facebook and Instagram, you don't want to be like, oh my gosh, buy this 21 Day Fix, it's so awesome. Join my group, you guys, buy it right now. Or, oh my gosh, Paya was amazing. You don't want to spam people with so much information about all these Beachbody words and things. You don't want that. You very rarely see me ever post anything with the word Beachbody in it, or anything with the program names in it, unless I'm talking about a specific workout that I just posted about, and I'm talking about why I love these certain moves in it. So for me, it's always funny because sometimes I'll get people and they'll be like, what company do you work for? And to me, I'm like, yes, that means that I did a good job of not saying Beachbody in every single word. So it's so hard not to. But, you know, you're sharing and you're inviting behind the scenes to where you're not having to be like this spam, like they call it a spam artist, but just only sharing about products and only sharing about challenge groups and programs and things like that. You want to share your life. That is what people relate to. Okay, and then let's see, all these are pretty much self-explanatory. I'm going to let you guys go through those. The one other thing that I do share at the end of this are some of my favorite apps to use. So a lot of times, new coaches, for me, I had no idea about any types of apps or programs to use for pictures and things like that. I pretty much just knew there was Instagram and Facebook, and I didn't know anything else. So these are some really popular ones that I like. I will tell you that right now, Facebook is showing that so videos get way more likes and views than just pictures. And also that the next highly ranked thing that people look at is actual just statuses. So you'll see on my page, you'll see a good mixture between posting a video of something, whether it's me talking, it's my workout, or it's me and Hudson, my son. And then you'll see just some statuses. People love to be able to give their 2 cents and their support and their advice. So doing things like questions like, okay, would you rather blah, 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 blah. Or, hey guys, I'm looking for, a new computer. What do you like, Mac Air or Mac Pro? Things like that where you can get people engaged. 2 reasons why that's a really good way to get more followers and to get more people seeing your stuff is, 1, that's getting way more people to comment, because every single comment that's made, every single piece of advice that's made bumps that post back out into the newsfeed of all those other people and all of their friends. So more people are going to start seeing your things as you do just some solid status posts like that as well, where you're just kind of generating some comments. So a good healthy mix of pictures, videos, and just normal statuses is the way to go. And some of the things that I like to do, some of the apps I should say that I like to use for videos, I love iMovie. And I love Pick, Play, Post. Pick, Play, Post, and Pick, Play, Post and iMovie are both iPhone apps, and Pick, Play, Post also is on the Android. But Pick, Play, Post is one where you can do like a collage of different video moves. And then iMovie, obviously, you've seen probably a ton of my videos like that, where it just kind of fades into different moves, and you can put music behind the background. Then 2 other ones that I like that are for pictures. I love WordSwag. And WordSwag allows for you, and I'll show you some examples of pictures like this. WordSwag is you can upload a picture in there. And then, so when you go to Pinterest and you're like, okay, I just found this quote I love. And like on my wall right here is a picture and it says, create a life you love. Instead of using that quote picture that I find on Pinterest, I'm going to take that quote because I really like it, but I'm going to show a picture of me and my son, and then use WordSwag to type in the quote, create a life you love, and then I get to just like click the different shuffle button, and it creates different text and things to make it look professional and look pretty, but I'm doing it. It's my picture. It's not just some stock photo with like an Instagram name at the bottom of it. That's not mine. Does that make sense? How you can kind of brand it and make it your own to make it seem more, it's all you. It's not you just taking, stock things that you find on the internet. It makes it more relatable to you. So that's one that I use a lot. And then another good camera app is Photofy. There's some great filters on there. You can, again, make collages. You can put borders and stuff. Those are just 2 that I really enjoy for the phone. And then the last 2 are computer programs. One is Canva. like Canvas, but it's just canva.com. And then the other one is PicMonkey, PICmonkey.com. And again, those are two that you can play around with. Those are great for when you're going to create kind of like a promotional post where you're going to say like, join my challenge group or join my team, where you want to put more than just one or two pictures on there. And you can kind of see some examples. And I'll show you some examples in just a minute of some of those different ones. Okay, so we talked about, that's our new coach packet. Where I'm at right now, this is the Google Drive, you guys. This is your golden ticket to everything that I have ever used since being a coach. The main place that's going to be the most useful for you is Coach Resources. So I'm in the Inspiration Crew folder, and if you go to Coach Resources right here, this is all stuff to help you as a coach. Now there's new coach stuff in here, down to like different scripts about how to announce that you're a Beachbody coach, what you can send to different people, also things that'll help you when you get your first coach, what to say to them, what to do with them, what to send them. And this is still in the Coach Resources folder, but this is what I want you guys to look at when we finish up here. This is your coach tracker. Okay, so this is a whole file, and it's based upon what kind of coach you are. But right now, you are just a coach. So I want for you to go home, and I want for you to print out this. It's called Coach Tracker. And this is how you're going to track your power hour. Remember, we talked about, and you're going to learn this in your training too, we talked about how we want to reach out to people every month, and we want to, or every day, and we want to invite people. So you're going to print out, this is that's weekly, but this is the main one. If you're just going to print out one, this is your daily action plan. And this is what you should be focusing on every single day in that 1 hour of time, or more than an hour of time that you have, or if it's just like in the mom cracks of your day. I am such a pen and paper person. It helps me to be able to kind of check things off and know that I did them. So right here we have our tracker. The way that you are the best coach possible is by making sure that first everything starts with you, that you're focusing on working on you. So that means that, did you drink your Shakeology? Did you do your workout? Did you spend some time just, you time? Like, did you go and do something that you enjoy that day? And then your PD, your personal development. And then obviously drinking water, but that's just something fun that's on there. Now, today's schedule, this stuff up here, this is just a place for you to kind of brain dump anything that you want to do for the day. For me, I don't have a time where I really sit for a full hour at a time. I kind of work in my mommy cracks. And so I kind of plan my day out like that. The night before, I kind of write down some things that I know that I'm going to do. In the morning, okay, I want to add all my new coaches to this event, and I also want to make 2 graphics for our team calls today. Okay, so maybe that's 2 things I would put there. At night, I have a team call at 7:30 Eastern, or send so-and-so this packet or this link, just notes for myself. Then for me, it helps me to kind of plan out my social media post, what I want to post that day. If I have it kind of already thought out, it helps me so much more. So in the morning, maybe I want to post something about me and Hudson, okay, something about me and my son, and it could be anything. So I'm going to write just me and Hudson. Then maybe on the second line, all right, I know that I made a video for different workout moves for moms, and so I know that I want to post that video. But, okay, it's Thursday, so it's Thursday. And so I'm going to post something about how to get, how to get in some really great, maybe some tips on how to drink more water, or maybe a flavored water recipe where you can put fruit in it, a fruit infused water recipe, something that kind of goes around. So I always kind of think of my days, Monday's a great one, Motivation Monday. Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday. It's awesome to share a picture of your transformation, share about how you're transforming and changing as a coach, share about a transformation that you have from a client of yours, from a challenger of yours, once you start getting people into your challenge groups. Those are all great things to share on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I have a lot of coaches that do like a What I Ate Wednesday or a Work It Out Wednesday, where they share tips or they share what they ate for the whole day. That's an idea. Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Transformation Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Friday is kind of like my Fun Friday share. That's a great day to do a fun status and have people give you, what's it called? Like their 2 cents or their advice on different things, or share a funny graphic. And then Saturday and Sunday are great days to share just family things. Share how you're being active. Share how you're with your family or with your friends. Be social and share about that kind of stuff. And then Sunday, is obviously a great day to share about nutrition things. Maybe share a recipe, share some meal prep ideas. Those are all great ideas of how to kind of schedule out some posts. Then we get into the meat of your power hour. This is your coach power hour. This is what is going to be progressing your business forward daily. So you're going to learn about really in depth more about what a power hour is in your new coach training. But as you get started, every day you want to be thinking about some of these things. You want to check your coach online office. You want to go back there, and if you have new customers, and again, as a new coach, you're not going to have a ton back there, but it's going to be helpful for you to be able to go back there and see, what's going on in my back office. Is there any news that I need to know about? Is there anything, any coach breaking news in the right-hand corner? Do I have a new customer? Things like that. Training. So you guys are all in your new coach training. So check that off. When you do your day, if you're on day number 2, if you did number 2, check it off. That's good. Your challenge group check-in. Right now, you guys are all going to go into my March It Into Shape group. Not my first group, but my challenge group to start March off. That is going to be a place for you to not only be a challenger, so for you to get comfortable with sharing your sweaty selfies and your workouts and your meals and stuff, but also a place where as you're beginning to share publicly on your different social media sites and you get people interested, if they want to sign up and they want to join with a challenge pack or get a program and stuff, you can then put them in that challenge group and they have a place to go. You don't have to host your own yet at all. Your goal is to be a challenger. Your goal is to work on you and to begin just getting comfortable with sharing your journey and sharing what you're doing. And then I'll do all the behind the scenes work for you. They can join into the challenge group and you can just get excited about supporting them in there and continuing to work on yourself. Replying to commenters and likers. When you get a comment or a like on your picture, especially if it's something about like a workout program, always respond to those comments underneath them. So always say reply and say something that, even if it's just thanks like 5 times, still do that, because again, that puts you back out in their newsfeed. And then likers, a lot of times, if it's like a program where I was sharing about the new 22 hardcore program, or it was sharing about coaching and maybe they just liked it, but they didn't actually comment, then a lot of times I go and I message those people and I say, hey, Jessica, thanks. I saw that you liked my post about coaching. Thank you so much for supporting me on this post, supporting me in my coaching journey. Hey, have you ever thought about, wanting to coach? Something like that. You can ease into asking them different questions about what it was. Or, hey, I saw that you liked my 22-minute hardcore workout yesterday. Hey, girl, would you like more information when it comes out? Something like that. That's an easy message and an easy way to kind of go ahead and start planting that seed of getting people excited with you and possibly getting them to join you as a challenger or as a coach. Commenting on 3 posts. This is not posts of other coaches. Yes, you want to support other coaches on our team and support each other and support me, but you want to comment on 3 people who are not challengers yet, who are not your clients or who aren't working with you yet, because that, again, is going to plant that seed of people that you can be talking to. 3 messages of encouragement. That's something like, hey girl, I love your dress. Where did you get it? Or, oh my gosh, your kids are getting so big. How old are they now? Different things, just ways to reconnect with people. You want to focus on these in these first couple months as a coach, really focusing on reaching out to old friends, making new friends, and starting to rebuild that relationship. It by no means means that you have to immediately say, hey, I became a Beachbody coach. Would you like to join me? It does not need to be like that. Be just normal, get to know them again or follow back up with them or ask them about what they're doing with their life right now, check back in with them. And then interacting in interest groups. Now, this is a great way. I'm going to come back to this in just a second. So let me just hold off on that. Then your other thing, this is expanding your network, adding 3 friends, whether it's on Instagram. So maybe you follow a couple more people, maybe you Facebook, maybe you find some mutual friends. And then again, 3 every day, you want to invite some people to your challenge group. So maybe you've been building that relationship with a couple new old friends. And so you send them a message saying something like we talked about. Hey, so-and-so, I don't know if you've been interested, if you've been, following my journey at all, but I have a challenge group that I'm a part of right now, and it's awesome. It's changing my life, and I can't help but want to invite all these other women to it. So I don't know if you'd be interested, but I would love to share more about it with you. Something as simple as that. You're not telling them they have to. You're not being rude. It's just sharing that passion that you have for it and asking them if they like a part of it. And they might say no, and that's when you say, all right, great girl, thanks for continuing to follow my journey. You know, I can't wait to talk to you later. Something like that. And then same thing with coaching, and then just following up with people and making sure that you check all of your notifications. So this is your power hour. This is what you should be doing every day before you go to bed. When I was a new coach, when I was working full time and I knew that my end goal was to be able to stay home when we had kids, I did not go to bed until I made sure that every box on this tracker was checked off. Because I knew that if I did that at a minimum, then my business would grow forward and it would continue to move forward. There's going to be days where you maybe don't have 3 friends to add, and that's okay. There's going to be days where maybe you don't have anyone to follow up with, and that's okay. But the goal is to be expanding your network and following up and messaging people every day, you know, as much as you can. So I'm going to pause right there before I show you a couple more things and then we'll be done. Does anyone have questions about any of that? I'm going to stop sharing so I can see all your faces. Does anyone have questions about that power hour? I know if you haven't gotten into your training yet, then you might be like, what? Because it's going to really break it down for you soon when you get into that training. But I want to stop and see how we're doing. Do we have any questions about some of that? No? That's awesome. You guys have all kind of been in your training, which is good. Does that help you? Have you guys been tracking anything yet? Does that help you to kind of have a place to be able to write down names and like just remind yourself that, oh, I haven't added anyone to my network today, or I haven't messaged anybody today? For me, I'm such like a visual person, and so that really helps me. But honestly, if that is like, if you don't like that, find something else. There's a bunch of, let me screen share again. There's a bunch of different ones in here. So like Power Hour right here. Oh wait, sorry. In the, where is it? Power of Threes in here. There's a bunch of different ones too. You know, there's a tracker that looks like this, and it's the same type of things, but if this works better for you, you can do that. If honestly, if using a notebook works for you, like a lot of times I'll just I'll write all my contacts just in a notebook and just write little notes next to them. As long as you have them written down somewhere, that's good enough. Because the reason why it's so important to make sure that you're tracking who you're talking to is that when you go to follow up with people and when you go to invite people, it helps to know who maybe told you no in the past or who maybe never answered you in the past so that you can invite them again. Because if you have no idea who you've already been talking to, then we're all moms and we're all, you know, just busy women and we're going to forget. And so it helps a lot for you to have at least a place where you've been tracking that. Does anyone have questions about any of that stuff?
I have a quick question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's the link to that Google folder?
That is in your new coach packet.
I don't know if I have that. I have the Inspiration Crew where I can do the 21-day training.
Okay. Who's your coach?
Abby Ironside.
She should have given you one. Reach out to her today and ask her. Say, hey, did she send you the new coach packet?
Yeah, so I have the whole like training thing. You know, the 21-day training.
Yeah.
I have that, so I'm probably just missing it. I'm sure she sent it.
Okay, just ask her. Say, hey, did you ever add me to the Google Drive? And if not, then I'm happy to add you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions about Power Hour stuff? About just challenge groups and stuff? A lot of you have been like, when do I host my challenge group type thing? And honestly, right now, you do not need to worry about hosting your first challenge group yet. We have the March one starting March. Well, we'll kind of start prep week somewhere on that first of the month, but the actual workout will not start until the 7th. So for you guys, as you're sharing about whatever program you're doing right now, if you get people that are interested and want to join you, go ahead and talk to them about it. Get them to sign up and you'll add them into that group. And so while you're also participating, because I participate too, I check in and work out just like everyone else, you're going to also be able to add them in there and start supporting them. So then the hope is that in April, you guys will be ready to host your first paid challenge group, a challenge group where people are buying a program to join with you and you're going to support them that way. So that way, you don't have so much to do as a new coach, if that makes sense. You don't have to create your whole own challenge group yet, unless you just really desperately want to, but I don't really suggest that. And you can always do it with a couple coaches. Like I always host groups with a couple other coaches. It really takes off the weight. Otherwise, it's a lot on you to make sure that you are posting every single day and that kind of thing, and checking in and following up. And so it's nice to be able to pair off with a couple girls who you find a common ground with. Does anyone not know what Success Club is? That's like one of the last things I was going to talk about really quick. Does anyone not know what Success Club is? Good. You guys have all gone through your training and stuff. Is your goal to hit Success Club in your first full month? You guys know why that's important? So one of the reasons why that's so important is because it basically helps you to break even on your initial investment on this just journey of being a coach. So helping 3 people a month pays for your Shakeology that you're paying for every single month. So that's a plus, and you're also helping 3 people. So that should be your goal no matter what. Now, the other great thing about hitting Success Club 5 is helping 3 people with a challenge pack. That's where they get what you guys started with. That's where they get their program that has the meal plan and everything and Shakeology all together. That's helping 3 people with that. And when you do that in your first 3 consecutive months, so if I started in February, but I didn't start till like the 28th, my first full month is, if I was to hit Success Club by the end of February, awesome, but I would only have 1 day to do that. But my first full month is by the end of March. And then the next 2 months after that, if I was to hit Success Club 5, those 3 consecutive months, then I get my free ticket to Summit next year in 2017. And what that is, Summit is the huge Beachbody conference where all the other Beachbody coaches, we all meet in Nashville. And that means your ticket is fully paid for. And it is like one big Beachbody party. It is so much fun. You get a bunch of training. You get live workouts with all the trainers that are the trainers for your programs. You get to meet us. You get to meet our team. And it is just so much fun. It just like lights a fire underneath your booty, because it is just, it's amazing to see all these people there that are all they want to do is help people. And we're all working out together. They literally shut down the entire Broadway street in Nashville, and all you see from like the big like flying blimp is the entire street filled with people working out. It's just amazing. I can't even explain it. But so you want to get there. You want to come with us that next year. So that is your goal as a new coach, is to help 3 people. And that comes from doing your power hour, from reaching out and following up, and from honestly just sharing your journey, sharing exactly what you're doing and inspiring people through it. Do not think of it as trying to sell people things, because it's not that. We're different than all those other companies where they're just trying to sell whatever, skincare or facial care or makeup or whatever. You're helping people live a healthy lifestyle, and that's something that it doesn't even need to be sold. It's just inspiring. So focus on that and think about it that way when you get stressed out and you're like, I can't sell stuff. Don't think about it like that. Think about it as sharing what you're doing. I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to talk about. Does anyone have questions that I didn't cover, or you're concerned or confused about something? Yeah, Jen. Let's see. Here we go. Go ahead. Oh, I think we did it at the same time.
Okay, am I good?
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing. Okay, I have a question about the Success Club. I recently signed someone up as a discount coach. Is that what they're called? Do they count towards my Success Club?
Yes. So new coaches, they count 2 points, because the difference between a customer and a coach. That's a good question. When you sign up a customer with Success Club, when you sign up a customer with a challenge pack, you get 2 Success Club points for that. And you're actually making that commission from that sale, if you will. When you sign up a coach with their challenge pack, that's still 2 Success Club points, but you don't make anything off of that sale. You don't get the commission off of it. What you're getting is they're bringing in volume to your team, which is still good, because eventually you'll start cycling from different bonuses and stuff, but we're not talking about that right now, because that is just way too much for a new coach. But it's a great thing, and you still get your Success Club from those 2 points. So that's great.
Okay,
I
perfect.
have a question.
Yeah,
As far as
Stacey.
Success Club, like if we became a coach in the middle of the month Is it
Yes.
running from like when we signed up to the middle of the next month, or is it running from the beginning of the month to the end of the month, no matter when we sign up?
Into the month.
Okay.
So like for you, if you sign up in the middle of February, you could hit Success Club by the end of February. That could be your first month, or by the end of March as your first month, because it's your first full entire month as a coach.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of you guys have until March if you're my coach that is on this call right now.
Ashley, what if somebody just wants to buy the program but not the Shakeology? Is that one point?
No, it's not. So Success Club points only come from, one, you get 2 points for a challenge pack, and that's the program and Shakeology, or 1 point from Shakeology on Home Direct, where they get it monthly, every single month. So
Okay.
those are the only 2 ways to get Success Club points. Now, obviously, it's nice to get the points because we know that it helps us personally, but, you know, our main goal is to help people. And so for me, you know, when I'm talking with girls and they just are adamant about not wanting Shakeology, or maybe they can't drink it, or whatever the situation is, I always really add value to them. I really tell them about how wonderful it is, you know, send them some videos, send them some links about the ingredients if they're unsure. And then if they're still like, no, then I always say, you know what, that's great though, because we can still get you set up with that program. You know, would you be interested in just the 21-day fix without Shakeology? And so obviously you're still helping them. You can still put them in your challenge group, but they're just missing out on the Shakeology part, and you won't get as much commission, nor will you won't get the Success Club point for that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions?
I have a quick one.
Yeah.
Can we only put people, I think you called it march it into shape?
Yeah.
Can we only put people that buy challenge packs into that, or can we put other people that are thinking about it into that so they can see what we do?
That's a really good question. Normally for these groups, it's only people who have purchased something, whether it's just a program or it's their program with Shakeology, because we put a lot of thought into those groups. It's a lot of time. We really sit down with everybody, and you guys will see too, because you teach them how to meal prep, you know, how to take, you know, how to plan out their workouts, how to schedule things. It's a lot of work that goes into it to really focus on that. And so that's something that we always say, you know what, you know, that's really a place for people who have invested in this group, because, you know, we're in turn investing in them. And so that's the kind of person that you could say, that's great. You know what? I understand that it's not the time right now. Next month, I'm hosting a free group. And so if you wanted to get on that, you know, I'll write you down and I'll tell you about it when I'm ready to open it up. Something like that, because monthly as a new coach, you guys can host free groups, and you're going to learn about that again in your training, whether it's like a clean eating group or a no sweets group, or, you know, whatever kind of theme you want it to be. Those are free groups, and that's a great way to get people in who otherwise at first would not want to pay money, or maybe they don't know you, so they're kind of like, I don't know if I want to just like sign up with them because I don't really know anything about them. And so a free group is a great way to get people in, because they don't have to buy anything, they don't have to pay anything, but they get to see who you are as a coach. They get to see you supporting them, they get to see your creativity, they get to see your overall energy. And then at the end of that group, that's when you can say, all right, guys, like I hope that you loved this free group. You know, I'm sad it's ending, but I have another group opening up for March or for April or whatever, and it's going to be a little bit more specific. I'm going to be helping you more one-on-one. We're going to learn about meal prepping, and I'm going to get you set up with a program, and, you know, tell them about everything about it. You know, if you'd be interested, let me know and I'll send you more information. And then that's a good way to kind of segue into something paid from a free group. So people who aren't interested in buying stuff from you, that's okay. And say, you know what, would you mind if I reached back out to you next month when I host my free group? Something like that is always a great way to kind of keep those girls around and then get them into your group. And then they might be like, well, crap, I actually do want to sign up because this is so much fun and I could really use the help. So does that make sense at all?
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else? And I'm sure you guys will have more questions, and that's great. Post them in our little team thread, post them on the new coach page. And if I'm ever not here to answer really quickly, then you guys are all on that big inspiration crew thread. And those coaches, the veteran coaches, are happy to help you really quickly, a lot of times quicker than I can even respond to. So they're all really super helpful. I was going to tell you guys one more thing too before we finish up. if you're just still waiting to kind of find something for personal development, I was going to show you one thing that is a really great quick thing that you can do, which I know all of us moms would really appreciate. And this is DarrenDaily.com. And I highly recommend signing up for his podcast. He sends you a little email every day, and it's seriously 5 minutes. And so a lot of times if I'm like just like, wow, like crazy, or I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a moment, I'm going to freak out right now because I'm having a mom like overwhelmed moment, I will listen to my 5-minute Darren Daily personal development. And a lot of times it's super helpful. So when you go there, it's DarrenDaily.com, and you just sign up, put your first and last name in, and then you can choose to either get an email, you can get a text, whatever you prefer, or both, and they will send you a helpful little video. And so this is what it looks like. It's just really, really quick. It gives you a little kind of like an action, something that you should do that day for it. And then like this is a 3-minute video today, really, really short. And it gives you just a couple little things, a little kind of like, all right, now get to it type pep talk. And it's perfect for those days where you don't have time to read a book or listen to a full podcast or listen to part of a book online. So I thought that you guys might enjoy that as well. That's a really quick way to get in some PD time. All right, that's it. We took up almost an hour, so that was a lot of information, but I'm glad you guys took the time to sit and listen to me talk. And I hope that if you have questions still that y'all will answer, or, ask them so I can answer them, or, ask the team. But don't be afraid to have questions. As a new coach, I had so many questions and that's good. You want to ask them. There's never a stupid question as you're getting started. So don't hesitate to ever ask for help, for sure. Sierra, yeah.
Hey, sorry, I was just still curious about signing up my husband.
Oh, yes. Okay. And this is something that we could totally talk about for like hours too, but really quickly. So a lot in your training, you guys will hear them talking about adding your spouse as like your first coach underneath you, which makes you halfway to Emerald. Now, the reason to do that for me, I personally, I didn't sign up Spencer as my husband. I didn't sign up Spencer until I had one business building coach underneath me. I was like, okay, that's my goal. If I can get one coach to work with me, then I'll sign my husband up. And so what you want to do is sign your spouse, or even a family member works if your spouse is like, not happening. Signing up a spouse is a great way to have just an extra leg up on being able to control another account of yours. And this helps more like months down the road. You won't do anything with this account really at first, but it helps to have him there on your weak leg. So for example, here, I'll go ahead and screenshot it because this will just make a whole lot more sense for you. Okay, so this is my back office. Okay, so can y'all see that? Yeah? Okay, so this is the back office. I want to know what my weak and my strong leg is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to downline right here and click on graphical genealogy. And when I've clicked on me, I can see over here my left volume and my right volume. Whichever number is higher, that is my strong leg. So for me, if I was just, obviously mine is flip-flopped in time because I have more coaches working on the right side, and so my husband's actually on my strong leg, which does not help me, but normally that doesn't happen. So when you're starting out and when you're trying to decide, okay, I want to sign up my spouse, you want to put them on your weak leg. So for me, it would be my left leg because I have less volume there. That's less points, and that's just all talks about. It's just the volume that the team has sold to people, the amount of people that we've helped. So this is my weak leg. So what I would do is I would click go to bottom left, and I would click this very outside person here, and I would click yes, I want to save this as my preferred placement, and I would say okay. And that is where I would then go ahead and I'd have my husband sign up underneath using my coach ID. I would have him go and sign up just like you did, except you would put in your coach ID, and he would sign up, and that means that he would go right there. Then once I do that, once I see my spouse there, I would go back up to the top, and I would go to the bottom of the other leg, and I would go ahead and set my preferred placement here, so that I would make sure that my next coach would go there, which would then make me become an Emerald coach because I have 2 coaches now underneath me. Now, the reason that we sign up coaches or sign up your spouse underneath you is that it allows you to work their side. Now, when you're going to get into all this and you're going to learn all this in your training, but with your volume, so here you see my 2 different legs. When you have 200 volume points on your strong leg and 100 volume points on your weak leg, you cycle. Now, if you're an enrolled coach, meaning you have those 2 coaches underneath you, you actually make 14 extra bonus dollars on that cycle for each time that you can cycle. So you can imagine here, you see all this volume. You're going to cycle that many times as you have 200 points on your strong leg and 100 on your weak leg. Now, again, all of this is like probably way over your head and something that you totally don't even need to know until you are an enrolled coach. But so the reason that you would put your husband on your weak leg is so that you can man his account, and so that if you saw that you were only like 20 volume points away from being able to make another cycle, to make another little bonus of $14, then you could go and you could put an order under him. You could put one of your customers under him. You guys personally could order some extra shakes or order a different program under him. It just allows you to have another account to be able to kind of balance and work if you need it. It just works to your advantage. And like I said, a lot of times that doesn't come into play until very much further down the road. Like I'm not really doing anything with that until just recently. I would probably say in the last like 3 or 4 months am I really doing stuff with that. But it just helps to have him up higher as one of your first coaches, because he gets to really benefit from all of the volume of everybody that you start signing up on your team. Does that make sense, like in a nutshell, kind of? Hold on, you're muted. You're muted, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I already signed up a coach more, so I think she's going to be doing like discount coach. But my husband already purchases Shakeology, and he's purchasing it from me. Should I turn him into a coach so I would be enrolled?
Yes.
Okay. So
because you would save 25% on his orders every month. Remember, as a coach, you get 25%
right.
on anything.
Well, I didn't know if it was better to take the commission of his Shakeology or.
Well, once you become a coach, I do see the difference, because it's like either you make $30 commission of his Shakeology, but in turn, if he's a coach and he's just adding volume to your team, your entire downline, your entire team is now, you might be able to cycle a little bit faster, which would make you a bonus. So
okay. So then how do I switch him over?
So from his account, you'd sign into his account or whatever and have him click on sign up to be a coach and put in your coach ID.
Oh, that's it? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Easy.
All right, any other questions about stuff like that? And again, if you have other ones that are more specific, we can chat aside and I do personal videos like this and stuff too, but I just want to get you all started in one spot and then kind of give you like a baseline of what you should be doing. Right now, just focus on sharing. You guys share your journey, share getting into your program, share your life, share what you're doing. You guys are all moms. You have like a huge step up from a lot of people who don't have kids. So if you are a mom, that's wonderful. Share your active lifestyle with them. Get them in your videos. Like half of my pictures get the most likes when Hudson's in them. So I'm like, all right, let's just throw this baby in here all the time. So, it helps. You would just want to be you and share what you're doing. And that is the selling point in and of itself. So let me know if you need anything else, if you have questions. And that's all I have for you guys today. Does anyone else have anything else? Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to stop this and I will upload the recording when we finish. So if you need to go back and listen again, I know we covered a ton. I'm going to post it in our new coach page. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.